स्वागत स्वागत आप सबका स्वागत है अपने YouTube चैनल आर्ट ऑफ प्रोग्रामिंग पे। हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम टू योर ओन YouTube क्लास आर्ट ऑफ प्रोग्रामिंग। लेट अस डिस्कस about the operators in detail. In the last video we have seen what is a operator and what are the different types of operator the C programming has. If you haven't watched the video, please watch the video here and then come to this video. Let's see what is an increment operator. As the name itself indicates, increment, that means something should be added. What is added? Increment operator, first of all, it is an unary operator. It is an unary operator. Now what is a unary operator? The operator which acts on only one operand. It acts on a single operand, and such type of operator we call it as increment operator. Now this increment operator means add 1 to the number. In the simple way, what do I mean by increment operator? It means add 1 to the number. It means add 1 to the number. Say for example, if the value of x is 5 and I apply increment operator plus plus, it will become 6. That is what it means, add 1 to the number. Now this increment operator, there are two types of increment operator. Please see here, if I take a variable x is any variable, and I write plus plus here, this is one way of writing it. Or I can write x here and I write plus plus before x, and we write plus plus before x. Writing the increment operator plus plus after x is called as post increment, because it is applied later on, therefore it is post increment. And this plus plus is applied before the operand, therefore it is called as pre-increment. Therefore it is called as pre-increment. Now this increment operator cannot be applied on constants. I write here, this increment operator cannot be applied on constants. Cannot be applied on constants. Whether it is post increment or whether it is pre-increment, you cannot apply on constants. I cannot write plus plus 4 and I ask 4 to become 5. It's not possible. A variable can change the value, but a constant, can it change the value? No. Therefore, it cannot be applied on constants. It can be applied only on variables. Now, let us discuss in detail what is post increment. Whether it is post increment or it is pre-increment, it always adds 1 to the number, but the way they behave, but the way they execute, the post increment is different from the pre-increment, and both pre-increment and post increment cannot be applied on constants. Now let us discuss post increment in detail. Let us discuss the post increment operator. Post increment means the operator is applied after the operand. Here operator is applied after operand, therefore it is called as post. Post means later. Say for example, we write x plus plus. Now this plus plus, the increment operator, is after the operand x. It is after the operand x. Now let us see how does it works. We know that whether it is post increment or whether it is pre-increment, it always adds 1 to the number. Say for example, we say a is equal to 4. Say for example, we say a is equal to 4. That means the value of a is 4. And we write a plus plus. And we write a plus plus. What will happen? A plus plus means add 1 to the number. The value of a which was 4 will become 5. The value of a which was 4 will become 5. Is that okay? Now let's see one more example. Suppose I say y is equal to minus 1 and I write y plus plus. And I write y plus plus. What does it mean? It means add 1 to the number. Now the value of y is minus 1. What it will become? It will become 0. The value of y will become 0. Is that okay? Now here what we have done, the value of y plus plus or the value of a plus plus, we did not store it in some other variable. We did not store it in some other variable on LHS. Now let's see how does it behave if we store it on LHS. Say for example, again let's say x is equal to 4. The same thing. Okay, a is equal to 4, here x is equal to 4. And we write here y is equal to x plus plus. And we write here y is equal to x plus plus. Now this is what kind of increment? This is post increment. Post increment means assign first. Assign the value of x to y first. Now what is the value of x? The value of x is 4. It will be assigned to y first. Is that okay? Assign first and then increment later. Are you getting it? Here I have written 1 means assign first, then increment later. The value of x will become 5. Are you getting it? Again I am saying, in case of post increment, assign first, increment later. That means this y equal x plus plus is same as we can write it as y is equal to x. That means the value of x is assigned to y first, and then the value of x gets incremented, and the next step would be x plus plus. This is post increment. Post means later, delay. Are you getting it? Delay the increment, assign first. But if you did not assign, there is nothing to assign it on LHS. Therefore, it will simply increment. Here, since we have something to assign it on LHS, since it is post means later, delay, first it will assign, then it will increment. This is how the post increment works. Now let us discuss about how does the pre-increment work, and then we will distinguish between pre-increment and post-increment. Let us discuss about the pre-increment. As the name suggests, pre means before. Here the operator plus plus, because it is an increment, operator is applied before the operand. Operator is applied before the operand. Before operand. Say for how do we write it? We write it as plus plus x. Now this plus plus is before the operand. Now let's discuss some of the examples with respect to the pre-increment. Say for example, we say a is equal to 4 and we write plus plus a. What will be the value of a will become? Plus plus means add 1 to the number. Therefore, the value of a will become 5. Therefore, the value of a will become 5. If we write y is equal to minus 1 and we write plus plus y, what does it mean by plus plus? Add 1 to the number. The value of y, which was minus 1, will become 0. Hence, the value of y will become 0. Now, again the same thing as the post increment. Here plus plus y or plus plus a is not assigned to a variable on LHS. What happens if we assign a value to the variable on LHS? Let's discuss. Suppose we say x is equal to 4 and we say y is equal to plus plus x, because it is pre-increment. Now in case of pre-increment, the increment takes place first. Therefore, the value of x will become 5. The first increment takes place and then later on the assignment happens. And later on the assignment happens, therefore the value of y will become 5. In case of post increment, first assignment happened, then increment. But in case of pre-increment, first increment, then assignment. Now this is same as writing x is x plus plus, you increment the value or you write plus plus x and then you say y is equal to x. Then you say y is equal to x. This is how the pre-increment works. Now let us discuss what is the fundamental difference between pre-increment and post-increment. Let us discuss the difference between the post increment and the pre-increment. Now, in case of pre-increment, what happens? If we assign the value on LHS, increments first, it is increments first, assign later. It is increment first, assign later. But in case of post increment, it is assign first, increment later. Assign first, increment later. Now say for example, if we have the value of b as 4, now if you are writing b plus plus or you are writing plus plus b, both will yield the same result. Why? Because you are not storing the value on the LHS. If you are not storing the value on the LHS, you see at the higher level, the working of the post increment and the pre-increment remains exactly same. But is it so? No. This pre-increment is little faster. This pre-increment is faster than post increment. This pre-increment is faster than post increment. Why? See here, if I write plus plus b, that means we need to just increment the value of b. There is no point in storing the value of b in some variable and then incrementing it, right? But if you write b plus plus, that means the value of b has to be held somewhere. The compiler will store it in some temporary variable, the value of b, and then it will increment the value of b. That means here one assignment takes place and then increment happens. Here no assignment takes place and directly increment will happen. Therefore, pre-increment is little bit faster than post increment. Therefore, this is little bit faster, right? It's not way faster, it's little bit faster and it's little bit slower than the pre-increment. Now, this pre-increment and post-increment, is it necessary that it should be only applied on integer values? No. You can even apply on real numbers, the floating point numbers that we have discussed in constants. Say for example, we say y is equal to 3.4. If we write y plus plus, the value of y will become 4.4. Add 1 to this number. But you cannot apply this pre-increment or post-increment on constants. That means you cannot write 4 plus plus, it's an error, it's wrong. You cannot write plus plus 4, it's an error because this 4 is a constant. Right? You cannot apply the pre-increment or post-increment on constants because I cannot ask 4 to become 5. So this is all about the increment operator, and we have studied in detail what is pre-increment, what is post-increment, what is the difference and how it works. Yeah, so friends, if you are new to this channel, please subscribe to this channel, like this video, share this channel with your friends and comment on the comment section how do you find this video. Thank you friends for watching this video. Have a great day.